All right, give yourselves a hand. Here we go. Now, I know for some, there's the whole purpose of this is to help those to be able to stand and bring to pass God's will. This is why the ministry is divided into two parts. There's Ebros and ACF. ACF is for those who want advanced. They want to apply the word. Most people, all they want is information. Information is great, but information doesn't do anything for you. Knowledge is something you can what? What's the difference between information and knowledge? To apply it. If you have knowledge that you can apply, then you gain wisdom. And you find out where you're slipping, where you're missing. This is why the Word of God is not meant for those just to have information. It's for those who want to what? I'm sorry? Apply it, right. So ACF is about applying it. So this is where when people recognize it. How many here pay taxes? All right? Why do you pay taxes? Why? Have you noticed that there's a difference between Mexico and the United States? Cross the border and go on one side and then cross the border and come back. Does anyone notice a difference? Right? So there's a difference. So if I said, show me the United States, I want to see the United States government. Where would you take somebody? I want to see the United States government. I want to touch it. I want to see it. What would you do? Do you understand? Can you do that? No, it's not a thing. It's an abstract. It covers an area in which all agree and understand the parameters in which they're living. You leave that area, you're outside that realm of protection, outside that realm of governance. Is that making sense? Like if you live with your parents and you think, well, I deserve more, so I'm going to run away and do my own thing. Well, is there going to be a problem? Yeah, there's going to be a major problem because you've not been trained to take care of what? Yourself. Most Americans, when they leave the United States, think all the other nations are just like this one. There's a big shock. It's not. And they wind up in jail. They wind up in prison. Trying to think that this is the same. And of course, you're guilty everywhere else until proven what? Innocent. In the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. It's the reverse. In Mexico, I found out was really interesting that if you find someone in an accident and you try and help them, then you're the first person accused of the murder or the accident, which was a real shock to me. How can that be? You're innocent until not in Mexico. You're guilty until proven innocent. How about anywhere in the middle, in the Central America? Nope, you're guilty until proven innocent. How about South America? You're guilty until proven innocent. Whoa, China. Nope, you're guilty until proven what? Innocent. And you have to be able to prove your innocence rather than the person has to prove you're guilty. In this country, you have to prove the person's what? Guilty. All right, so where did we get this wild-ass idea that a person is innocent until proven guilty? Because Jesus was innocent and there was no one there to stand up for him. This has been a nation that was built on Christianity. And Jesus was tried, and he was persecuted and executed because he was guilty until he could prove his innocence. And he did not say a word. Now that's pretty intense. So when you and I are looking at the word, are we looking for information or are we looking to apply it? If we're looking to apply it, it's knowledge, which means you take that knowledge and you immediately apply it. She's learning a Python, which is not a difficult language. It's just very intense. She's learning robotics. That's intense too. But in both those categories, it requires focus and discipline, understanding. If she gives the knowledge and she goes, okay, I got the knowledge and did nothing with it, what would happen to her knowledge? It would disappear. Does that make sense? So you have to gain the knowledge and apply it, or else it will not be effective. So in this situation, what we're going to do is, because this is for those who are on doing the word, and this covers the tithing, abundant sharing, and you need to apply this. So wherever you're missing the application of God's word, apply it, and then when you hear this again, it'll be much greater than you first heard it, because it's just like a little girl who said, if you walk up to a little 4-year-old and say, Do you know what a mommy is? Yes, I know what a mommy is. Do you know what a mother is? Yes, I know what a mother is. Do you know what a wife is? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. No, she what? Can't. She may think she can because she has information about it, but she has no what? Knowledge. She can't apply it. Is that making sense? Is there a difference between knowing what a mother is and being a mother? Kelsey, is there a difference? Yeah, big time. Is there a difference between knowing what a wife is and being a wife? Yeah, it's a big difference. So the question is, what's the standard, your actions? So with the Word of God, we have a standard. Now, how many have ever seen someone that you meet and you go, wow, that person is absolutely astounding, right? Have you ever had that happen? If it's a woman seeing a man, she's going to see certain qualities in him. If a man sees a woman, he's going to see certain qualities in her. So either way, it's because of basically 5 components, which I'm going to cover 4. And this is what you get with the Word of God. And that one aspect is symbolized by an animal, which happens to be the eagle. The other one is the ox. The other one is the azir, the leader, the executive officer, and the lion. The lion. So we're going to be having the Word of God in Heaven class coming up. And in that class, I'll be covering, you've got to know what those mean. If you don't know what it is, I have a class I gave on abstract. Remember the abstract class? Yeah. Right? So that when you take the abstract class, it prepares you for the Word of God in Heaven class coming up. All right. So let's get into that one aspect of being a great man or woman of God. That one aspect where you have that autonomous and you have boundaries where you know you will not cross, nor will you allow anyone else to cross. You have a focus, a purpose, and then you speak that which is right by the standard that you've set your life to. Those are the 4 components which are represented by the 4. The man, the eagle, the ox, and the lion. So, Father, I thank you for the greatness of your word. And I thank you for helping me to teach the word to those who you dwell within. For those who wish to walk in your shadow. Those who truly wish to be your azir. To truly walk in your power and authority and be able to manifest it into the world. So for their protection, for their blessing, and for the greatness of what they're about to do and accomplish, we give you all the praise and glory as we walk in the footsteps of your firstborn from the dead, our risen and returned Lord Jesus, your anointed. Okay, say the true way of life. We're not dealing with information. We're dealing with what? Application. Yeah. Okay, that's true. You got to have knowledge, have application. Okay. All right. Now, a lot of people want to have a car, but if you don't learn how to drive a car, will there be a problem? Yeah, just having a car is insufficient. You need to be trained. You have to understand how to use it and when to use it properly. So then when people say, well, I want to have a gun. Do you know how to use it? Do you know how to keep yourself from shooting yourself in the foot or having it knock you out? I have a person sat back there and bought a gun, and they went out there to shoot it, and they held it in front of their face, and they fired it, and it went boom, right in their forehead. I was like, I tried not to laugh. You all right? All right, so let's look at the eagle. Now, when I say eagle, what comes to mind? Pardon? A bird. A bird. Does it look like this? Yeah. Does it look like this? No. Does it look like this? A bird, right? Is a bird looks like this? That when we think of an eagle, right? We think of a bird like this. That's an eagle, right? I know we call it a bald eagle, but it's not bald. That's feathers, right? This is an American eagle, right? It is. It's pretty. It's not real though. It's a statue. The American eagle, right? And Mexico has an eagle too. It's the golden eagle. These are all New World eagles, but we're not going to deal with that so much as we are with the biblical eagle. So when the Bible says eagle, are you having the right images? No. So we need to find out what it is, because when we come across the word and we see the word eagle in there, we think we know. And you don't. So if you don't know what it says, then how can you apply it? Because everywhere there is the word eagle, it's to show you an attribute that you are supposed to have. that interesting? Okay, so let's look at this eagle. There it is. It looks similar to our American eagle, but it's not. The little guy is about that high. The American eagle is this high. It's half the size. So the American eagle is bigger wingspan, and if you've ever been to Alaska, you'll see that they can put a real hurt on you. They got big claws, nor is it like the Australian eagle. Totally different eagle. This little guy is like the honey badger of eagles. You know where an honey badger is, right? The honey badger takes on like cobras and freaking vipers and tarantulas. He eats them for lunch. He gets stung, he gets bit, tears into honey, and all the bees. And these are African bees that just attack and sting him, and he just doesn't care. It doesn't even faze him. That's the honey badger, little badass. But anyway, this guy is just as bad. This is the imperial eagle, Aquila Halika is what his name is. Thank you, Frank. You're welcome. Anyway, this guy's about this short, unlike the American eagle. It's about that big. And he's fast. He's freaking fast. His claws are really sharp, and his beak is really sharp, and he is so quick that he would tear apart the American eagle just because he's so quick. Lions don't mess with him. Freaking all the animals give him a wide berth because he's so badass, just like the badger. This guy is I saw him. I went to see this production of raptors, right? Guy had owls and American eagle. They had this little short shit, right? And so he goes, and this thing was like really secured, right? The American eagle and the hawks and falcons, they were all right. But this little guy was in a really secured cage. And we said, "What's in the cage?" He goes, it's imperial eagle. I go, "Well, can you let him out?" And the thing was just sitting there with his eyes looking, just watching. And as soon as he opened the gate on that cage, it was out and was attacking his feet, his legs, tearing at everything. And he had to throw a net over it to put it back in the cage. The thing is not domesticatable. You cannot make it be a pet. You cannot keep it in a zoo. It will, unless you catch it from an egg and put it with other domesticated animals, because it will not be domesticated. It's not that it's wild. It has this autonomy that it doesn't answer to anybody. So as a result, in the East, they look at it as being only answering to God, just like the cobra. Now, it's interesting that this and the cobra, they meet each other all the time, but they do not attack each other. The cobra and this one, they always wind up in the same place, but they don't mess with each other. And both were considered in the East as being of God. You ever notice that the cobra is always seen, like in the pharaohs and stuff, they have the cobras? Well, this guy is also, they have a statue, God, representing that principle, that characteristic of him, and it's Osiris. He's got that little beak with the human body. It means to have the characteristics, not that there's an actual human with a stupid head of a eagle. That's like dumb. They weren't that stupid. How could you build the pyramids and not be that stupid? They're not. All right. So, what's so unique about this bird? Well, it's not like the American eagle because it can stay in the air for days. It can leave and go 800 miles before it lands again. The thing is unbelievable. So in the verse of scriptures, it lists it. Proverbs 30, 18, 19. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The way of an eagle, what? In the air. Now, this is important to understand, that an eagle in the air is different than what we think of our eagle. Because when the sandstorms come and when storms start to hit, the eagle, unlike all the other animals, they run. Every animal runs from the storm coming. They see the storm coming or they sense the storm coming, and they all run for cover. Every last one except this guy. This guy does not run for cover. He's not afraid. You might think he's stupid because he does the weirdest thing. This is totally, what's the phrase? He's not, it's counterintuitive, what you would think. If you saw a really bad storm coming, what would you do? You would like run, right? Here's a tornado coming. What would you do? Well, this dumb shit actually goes and zeroes in, locks his wings, and goes zooming straight into it. Now that takes, like, wow. But he just, wham, he just forwards his wings, locks it, and heads right into it at the highest speed he possibly can. And when he hits that region of air, he's forced above the storm. He hits that storm winds at the highest speed he comes down, hits it, and his wings are positioned. It shoots him right above the storm, and he's up above the storm. How far? 20,000, 30,000 feet. They've actually found eagles at 40,000 feet. He's just hanging up there waiting for the storm to pass. And then after it passes, he comes back down. Just circles and just comes down. Storm did not what? Touch him. He doesn't run from the storm. He runs into it and shoots above it. Did the American eagle do that? No. So the eagle in the air is really intense. He can hover there for hours and hours and days. He lives in the sky. The sky is his realm. How far can he see? 20 miles. His eyesight is 20 miles. He's got real 20/20 vision, like 20 miles, not 20 feet, 20 miles. This guy is like really amazing. Second Samuel 1:23. And Saul and Jonathan were lovely and pleasant in their lives. This is David speaking of them. And their death they were not divided. They were swifter than what? Swifter than what? Eagles. American eagle? No. Australian eagle? No. What eagle are we talking about? The Eastern Imperial Eagle. So this eagle is fast. I mean, I've seen it in action. It's freaking fast. On the ground, it's fast. There's this thing is a ground hunter, an air hunter. If he sees a rabbit goes into a hole, he lands and waits for it. Totally motionless, waiting for it to come out. And as soon as it comes out, he's on it. He's got it. Same thing with snakes. When he takes on any of the vipers, he sits back and he's totally patient, and the thing goes to strike, and he makes a movement with his wing. It goes to strike. He pulls back and nails right behind the head and crushes it, and then takes the snake away. He's a little badass. I mean, this guy is really bad. Now, I'm not saying all the species that way. Those that have made it into Europe are different. There's many subspecies that have different characteristics. But we're talking about the one the Bible talks about specifically. Does that make sense? So you don't get confused as to which one are we talking about. Is it the Eastern eagle? Is it the Chinese eagle? Is it the Middle Eastern eagle? Well, all those eagles the Bible had, that species is no longer in existence. It used to be all the way from Israel and North Africa all the way across, but they've all grown independent. They've all grown into its subspecies, and the main species is gone. But I thought that was interesting. Swifter than eagles. There's nothing faster. Nothing faster than an eagle. Its response to every given is as if it knows ahead of time what's about to happen. If I was going to grab that eraser, right, and you knew it, what would you do? Before I could get to it, she already acts. I go, wow, you're fast, right? So it's as if it knows ahead of time. How would you like to be the kind of person that knows ahead of time before something happens? to have it see and recognize before it happens. Proverbs 23:5. Wilt thou set thy eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, and they fly away as eagle toward heaven. That is a terrible translation. All right? First of all, we're dealing with the agrarian society in which wealth was measured by what? Right, your flocks, your herds. That's what it was. Remember, Abraham was a what? Herdsman, right? And he was the wealthiest. It says nothing about gold or silver. It says about he has 1,000 flocks. He has, right? All right. So that's where his wealth was in. That doesn't mean he couldn't sell them, but gold, once you've sold them, they can't reproduce and make more wealth. Does that make sense? Set thy hand upon that which is not, for riches. What riches are we talking about? Flocks, right? Calves. These are the things like, whoa. Because when you look at what it takes to buy a baby or a calf, a baby bull or cow, you're talking about several $1,000s. That's intense. So, but if you have a male and female, you don't have to do anything except put lipstick on one, maybe, and and all of a sudden you got a mini one running around. Well, with this guy, that little one ain't going to hold on very much. You go, look at that. I made these two beautiful animals, and that baby. Look at that baby. It's absolutely, and it's gone. You understand? Now, the reason Rome hated this is because that term, pigs fly. That statement, do pigs fly? The answer is when you see that pig take off, all you see is the wings of the eagle. He's got that pig, his claws are in the rib cage into it, and the pig can't breathe. And therefore, it's like suffocating as it carries it away. So it looks like the pig is what? Flying. You see the baby goat. Look, the baby goat has wings. There it goes, right? You got to understand, this guy ain't very big, but that muscles in the back of his wings is extremely powerful. And once he takes, it takes a bit for him to get it off. I've got him where I got a little movie of him taking a mountain goat, and he attaches the mountain goat, and the mountain goat locks his horns into the mountain, and finally the eagle comes back around again, nails him in the back of the head, and he turns around to face the eagle and falls down. And then the eagle picks him up and carries him away. So he's a really slick guy. He's really clever, really sharp. And if you mess with him, if you get near the nest, you're going to be hurting. 2 people have died because of getting too close to their nests. Well, how big are their nests? They're 5 feet in diameter. They're huge nests. Why? Because they're picking up animals and bringing it to their babies, and they feed on that for 2 or 3 days. So imagine how much room you got? Well, there's mama bird and baby bird and daddy bird and another baby bird, right? There's 4 of them in there, and the animal that they're eating on. So there's nothing left. So how high are they? They are on the highest tree. Like we have an eagle out there, which is an American eagle, and he sits on top of that mountain up there on the tree up there. But this guy will also find the same thing. He'll find the highest mountain, the highest tree, and he will build a platform. And he'll put his 5-foot diameter nest up there. Now, when they mate, which is at the year of 4 years of age, why am I teaching you this? So that you will understand the characteristics of a man and woman of God. But they're monogamous. Does everybody know what monogamous is? They play Monopoly. No, monogamous means that you get one mate and you stick with it for life. Whether you like her or not, you're stuck with her, okay? So I'm making a joke here, okay? So anyway, they're monogamous. So at the age of 4, they mate and they stay mated their whole life. Well, how long do they live? How long do these guys live? Nope, try again.
80,
No.
65.
All right, between 30 and 40 years of age. 30 to 40 years of age. They live long. For a bird, that's pretty intense. For an eagle, that's exceptionally well. Now, what's interesting about them, they don't deviate from their diets. They're very strict on what they eat. Again, another characteristic. You don't deviate from your diet. What you eat, you eat that which is best for you. Now, there are other eagles that have a whopping lifespan of 8 years of age. Why? What do they eat? Okay, so let's find out a little bit more. So that's what it means. Look, there goes my little calf just grew wings. No, it's on its way to dinner for the eagles, right? The wings, they're big. You can see how long these wings are and how wide they are. They're wider than the body, but the muscle in the back is unbelievable. And the way it can lock its wings in the shoulder here is just locks it in. Right. Are you understanding that when you say eagle, we're talking about the what? Biblical what? Research. Biblical eagle. Bible. Okay. Yes, it is biblical research. You messing with me? All right. No. Now understand, heaven, as I've showed you here, heaven is everything above what? The earth. That's what we're talking about. Remember, heavens is between here and what? That's where heaven ends. We have the heavens, which goes right to the center of our galaxy. And then the heaven of heavens is everything beyond that. Remember? I showed it with you. So heaven, like when David shot the arrow into heaven, he didn't shoot St. Peter in the ass. Oh, ow! That's not what we're talking about. That's BS. All it means is you shot it into the air. I'm going to spend a microsecond, maybe about a second, in heaven. Ready? Watch. See, I was in heaven for a whole second. That's all it means is everything above the what? The earth. That's all it means. It has nothing to do with all this superfluous stuff that everybody's teaching. So there goes my calf with its new wings and goes up into the air. That's all it means. All right, Exodus 19:4. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you in unto myself. This is God speaking to Israel. All right. What eagles did they go by? What eagles were they riding? It's a figure of speech. What kind of figure of speech? You say it's a figure of speech. All right, so what's the meaning of it? I told you the eagle is a characteristic. Yes? One of those is autonomy. The other one is a strict focus and purpose. All right, so what we're talking about, the eagle that he's speaking of is Moses. That's the eagle that brought them out of Egypt. I told you each one of those, the eagle, the ox, and the lion and the man, are all characteristics. I bore you on eagle's wings. Right? That's the direction and strength, courage, heart, commitment, focus of Moses, and brought you unto myself. Is everybody getting this so far? So the eagle is a characteristic that you have. Why? Because God's in you. So it's your destiny. It's inherited in you. Isaiah 40:28-31. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. Well, if God never faints and is never weary, and he's in you, and he's the source of life, now what happens? You wake up, I'm so tired. What day is this? That's not how it works. How do you understand? Where's God? All right, repeat after me. He's in me. Ready? All right, let's try it again. Where's God? In me. In me. That's right. Not in you. He's in me. No, he's in those that actually act on his what? Word. And God works in that situation where God's thoughts, images, priorities, and focus are, and then God brings to pass his word. Well, what is his word? What's the promise? God says that he does not faint, neither is ever weary. He does not get tired. He does not give up. He stays focused. All right, so if that's in you, then you are fully capable of that. Well, I got an STD. I don't care what you got. I don't care if it's STP or if it's PDS or SSTs or whatever you got. See the doctor, come back, and we'll finish this. All right. There is no searching of his what? Notice it doesn't say knowledge. Notice it doesn't say wisdom. It says what? Understanding. Why doesn't it say knowledge? Because you can't even begin until you have what? Knowledge and are acting on it. So God gives you what? Understanding. And as you act on it, you get more what? Understanding. And more understanding. So God's ready to pour it out, and we're holding our little thimble. Can I have some? And he's got buckets. And he's like, Got anything bigger? Is that making sense? Now, watch. He giveth power to the what? Faint. Well, how can he? Because he's never faint. He's never weary. And to them that have no might, he increases what? What's the contingency? That you have his thoughts, his priorities, his focus, and his orientation. Yes? To value what he does. And if you do, then you're not going to have that weakness. You're not going to be tired. You're going to be fired up to continue going. Even the youths shall faint and be weary. Young people. And the young men will utterly fall. You see those guys, the Chads. You've seen Chad, right? Chad's the guy that's got the blonde hair, and he's got muscles. He's like Chad. And they do all the things. But when it comes down to strength, ain't got it. Now, what's interesting about that, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fail. But, what's but mean? In contrast to what? To the youth. To the what? The weary. And to those who are faint. But they that wait upon the Lord, where waiting upon God is having God's thoughts, God's images, God's priorities, God's perspective. What does he do? He is the source. He's neither weary, nor is he ever faint. He's powerful. Now, if he's in you, you just need to tap into it. Well, how do you do it? By having his thoughts, his images, his focus, his priorities. Does that make sense? But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their what? The strength is gone, it comes right back. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. Does that mean the eagle's going to come and get me? Well, outside this verse, right, now what are we talking about? All right, now we need to know more information about the eagle. Since when does an eagle wake up in the morning and go, then I'm going to go flying. I'll put this wing on, and I'll put this wing on, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Goes in the wing closet and says, no, see, I like the one with this feathers. No, that doesn't work like that. There's no closet for the eagle to choose which feathers, which wings he's going to have. To mount up means to mount it, to put it on. How can an eagle put on his wings? It's kind of like locked in there. How does he put on his wings? Wakes up in the morning, goes, yep, I got that one attached. And, well, how's he going to grab one if he doesn't have any hands? The translators are fun because they're trying to figure it out too. I have no idea what's going on here. So here we go. Let's understand what happens. How old do they last? How long do they live? 30 to 40 years. All right? There's three major moltings, right? There's one that happens when they hit the age of around 10 to 12. That's the first major molting. Do you know how many know what molting is? These feathers all have to be what? Replaced. They get worn out, they get torn, they get broken. So all these feathers have to be replaced. If you've got chickens, you'll notice the chickens at this time molt, and they look like you've just been tearing them apart and plucking them. But no, they're plucking themselves. Time for them to get rid of their what? Their feathers. If you got a dog, you'll notice that his fur he's losing all his fur. Well, with birds, they don't have fur. They got what? Feathers, right. So he's got some messed up feathers. He's been rocking and rolling with his prey. He's been trying to survive, fighting other eagles and they fight. Oh my gosh. Each eagle has its own area. Don't cross the border. And if another eagle comes in, they tangle. They dance. And someone falls down, go boom, right? But anyway, what does this mount up with wings mean? Well, in the verse, because it has to work with the older, because even the youth shall faint and be weary. So we're talking about that which is older. So it's not the first molt, it's not the second molt, it's the third molt. That's the roughest one of all. Now, according to legend, there's none of that species that does this now. But according to legend, there used to be around 2,000 to 3,000 years, or maybe 4,000 years ago. This eagle would fly over a small lake or a large pond and go as high as he possibly could and then dive straight down. And then right before he hit the water, he would throw out his wings and smack hit that water, which would just basically blow off his feathers. Now understand, as he's in that third molt, those feathers don't come out like they normally would. They have to be removed, all of them, for him to grow back. What's happened? Well, he can't get the food he normally gets because the younger ones are beating him to the punch. Because the species is fast to begin with, but as your feathers get old and creaky, right, bent and discolored and don't work and they've been cut and bent, that you can't fly as quick as the younger eagles. So you have to compete, and you can't because your feathers just can't cut it. So the third molt is when he's not getting proper nourishment, his body is older, he's in the last 10 years of his life, and he's going to try and do that last molt. So here he goes. He hits that water, and most of them survive that. That's a major impact. And they swim to shore. Yes, eagles can swim. They can. So he hits the water, he pulls himself out, and he pulls all the rest of the feathers out, all of them. And it's aided to him because they're wet. And if wet, they're much easier to pull out. And all of them, he does not cut any slack. They all go out, and he looks like a really sick pup. I mean, this guy's like, you ever seen a bird without feathers? I don't care how pretty he is on the outside, but once you take all the feathers out, he's ugly. I mean, ugly. It's like a chicken. Oh, we're a pretty chicken. Take off the feathers, and he looks really, all right. Well, the eagle don't look so pretty either without feathers. Anyway, what he does is he'll go into a bramble bush, which is like a thorn bush, with the long thorns, like the one that was over Jesus's, they put a crown of thorns on him. He'll go into that, and he'll snip off the thorns and crawl inside and cut away everything so he's got a nice little place to stay. And he'll stay in there because nothing can get to him because of the thorns. So he'll stay in there waiting for anything that God will give him. So a mouse will run in there, he got the mouse, right? Or a squirrel will run in there, he'll get the squirrel. A lizard will run in, he'll get the lizard. Right? Got it? So he'll stay in there until all his feathers what? Grow back. Now this is the time, if that, you'll see it when you go to the Jordan and you go to India, you'll see him in that bramble bush. Did he hit the water? I don't know. No one's recording it in the last 50 years of any hitting water. But according to legend, that's what they used to do. But now they're still in that bramble bush, and they pulled out all their feathers, and they look uglier than ugly. I mean, if you look under ugly, it says eagle without feathers. It's ugly, right? So what he's got to do is he's got to stay in that position until he grows back his what? His feathers. Does he have knowledge? Yes. Does he have experience? Yes. is he one badass little bird? I don't know about his ass, but I'm saying he's really bad. But the only thing, his problem is he's got worn out feathers. It's the last molt. But they that wait upon the Lord, and that's exactly what he does. He stays in that bramble bush. That's his little home. It's a little bit. It'll be about 4 or 5 feet in diameter, kind of like the nest, and he'll stay in there, and waiting for God to bring him food. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings. He will mount up and regrow his what? Wings. They shall run. And now he is a little demon because he's got the experience, he's got the knowledge. He heads out, freaking, just, and there ain't a single younger bird that can compete with him. He smokes them all. He outdoes them all. Why? Because he's got all new what? Feathers. And he's got experience. He's got the ability. Is that making sense? So he had to let go of everything he had before and begin what? Anew. Those feathers are what identify him. Now, in each one of the molts, there's different colors. The final molt has a darker color to it. Like this one, you can tell he's in his first 10 years. This is his first molt. As he gets older, it'll get darker and darker. The last one is the darkest of all. And that's where all the other eagles go, ooh, after you. And don't mess with him. So it says, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. That's that brand new feathers, brand new identity, brand new. Shall run and not be weary. And they shall walk and not what? Faint. And this is all concerning the principles, focus, priorities that it takes and set boundaries that you don't allow anyone to touch. The autonomy, they're only God. You listen to who? God. That's your focus. That's your standard. Pretty cool, huh? And realize that those attributes are where? In you. Now, there's something interesting that I should cover here at this point. Micah 1:16. Make thee bald and poll thee for thy dedicated children. Enlarge thy baldness as the eagle. Well, the eagle look at this. Does that look like he's bald? No, it's not. So what is he talking about? And they say, well, an eagle is bald. No, he's not. No, he's not. What's going on? Well, remember when I covered this, that in that time when he's in the bramble bush, what happens? He has to wait for God to bring him what? His food. Whether it be a mouse or a lizard or anything, he's waiting for God to bring it to him. He doesn't come out. But he can see outside his little cubbyhole. And there might be a dead animal. And all the vultures are on it. And the vultures are feeding on it. And it stinks, and it's rotten, and it's putrid. And he can see it, and the vultures are eating it. And you look, well, the vultures are eating it. It must be edible. Remember I told you about boundaries. You don't give up your what? Your boundaries. You take control. But that temptation, if you're hungry, there it is. The vultures seem to be eating it all right. And you see that vultures have no feathers on their head. Why? Because they put their head into that carrion that's rotting with the maggots and all that acid coming on maggots. So as soon as they do it, burns off the feathers off their head. Every time they plow the head in there to pull it out, it basically destroys their feathers. I don't know, have you ever seen something dead? You ever smelt it? You ever seen maggots in it? Now, if you're the eagle and you haven't eaten, And the vultures seem to be doing okay with it. Is there a problem if you eat it? Now understand, a vulture's digestive system will digest everything, including bone. It'll kill every single bacteria that enters into its stomach. It will destroy DNA of any kind of virus. So people say, well, a vulture is going to give me a virus. No, it destroys everything. So if it goes down its gullet, it's destroyed. Nothing survives the intestines. But an eagle doesn't have that luxury. It has a distinct digestive system. It's not made for that. So what does it do? Well, it sees the other birds doing that, and it's hungry, and some of them will leave their enclosure and join the vultures. And the first time their head goes in to eat the carrion, and they swallow it, they throw it back up. They got to keep eating it until they make their body take it. Now, the problem is the acids and all the other stuff in there, immediately his life is cut short. He's not going to live out his full 40 years or even 30. He's just cut his life drastically. But he did it. Now, as he continues to eat the carrion, as his feathers come out, they no longer resemble the eagle's feathers. Do you understand? Because his lifestyle has changed. His focus has changed. He's no longer set his boundaries. He no longer has his priorities. He's no longer focused on his purpose. He's just, I'm hungry, and it's okay. It's only one time. So who has the bald? The eagles that ate what? Carrion. Not the eagles that ate the what? The carrion. And he's talking about all the people, and Micah's talking about God's people. God's people are referred to as eagles. But as eagles, they can resort to living like vultures. And they get the results of it, which is death. Sickness and death. So, understand, an eagle never ever hunts with other eagles, yes or no? They always hunt what? Solo, right? They're doing it themselves. If they have a mate, the mate stays in the nest, they go out and hunt, bring back the food and share it with the other mate. The male is usually the hunter. Just like the lions, right? Except the woman goes out and mans it. But anyway, the lion, by the way, the two attributes, there's the eagle and the lion, right? Both of these are characteristics that you have inside of you if you're doing the word. The lion aspect is the pride, which is the male and the female and all the little cubs. The male has boundaries. Another male enters in, he will put that other lion down, get him out. If hyenas come to take the cubs, he will run out, have the female leave with the cubs, and he will attack the hyenas. He will attack the wolves or whatever is coming. He will attack it, and he will take them out. It may kill him, but he's not going to let them touch his mate or the cubs. It's a very strong focus, and there's an account of Ben-Shabal, the Assyrian king, went out to go lion hunting, and when he did, he saw the lion, and he pulled out, and he ventured in there. Ashurbanipal is his name, and he fired his arrow, hit that lion right in the back of his spine, which then crippled him. And that lion, even though the lower part of his body He could not move. He still kept coming. And he was like, whoa, and it scared the shit out of him. And he sat there and kept firing his arrows, and he just kept getting closer and closer, roaring and trying to kill him, only on 2 legs. It will not stop. It's going to carry out its focused, its commitment. And that's why a lion is so courageous. It doesn't care what the odds are. The adversary is going down. With his last breath, he's taken the enemy down. Whether it's a pack of jackals, whether it's a pack of another lion pride, he's taken them down. Isn't that intense? You think a lion would get some brains and say, dude, you are outnumbered. He goes, no, I got him just where I want him. And take him out. But anyway, but they are individual. Notice the lion and the eagle. They're both characteristics of men and women of what? God. They're focused. They're committed. You can't stop them. So Matthew 24, 26 to 28. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, this is talking about the Messiah. He's over there or he's over here. Behold, he's in the desert. Go not forth. Don't go there. Behold, he's in the secret chambers. Believe it not. Now, what does this mean, believe it not? We think of believe it as accepting what they're saying is true. No. It means don't act on it. Believing is what word? Pistis. It's to act and increase in wisdom by acting on it. There is no wisdom in this to apply. You can't get any wisdom if someone says over here or over there, because God doesn't live in what? Temples. Where does God live? Where those who have his knowledge, his wisdom, his understanding, his focus, and his priorities. Notice there's 5, same as the characteristics you've got. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Now, what's for? What's for? Reason. That's why this is bogus. Who comes between you and God? Nobody. Well, there's Father Francisco, and there's Reverend such and such. It has no bearing on this. What does the what? The Word say. Well, come to my church and find Jesus. He's not lost. He knows exactly where he is. He doesn't need me to find him. The object here is how much Word do you know? How much can you apply? How much is your reality? How much do you accept as your identity? That's the question. Because that's what God's looking for. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So don't say he's over here, he's over there. No. No. You have the Word. It's you and who? God. You don't want to talk to God? Don't read the Word. That's God's giving you doctrine, reproof, and what? Correction. Well, I don't want to receive correction. Don't read the Word. Well, I don't want to receive reproof. Don't read the Word. I don't need any more wisdom. Don't read the Word. I'm perfectly happy the way I am. Happy trails to you. Good luck. You'll need it. 4. What's 4 again? Reason. Whereversoever the carcass is, right? I go carcass and you go, right? Go, For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Eagles don't go together. What are we talking about? A corpse. Carrion. Do you understand what this is saying? Remember what Jesus says in chapter 7? He says, many will say unto me in that day, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? Did many wondrous works in thy name? And he will say, I don't know who the hell you are. Got it? Where the eagles These aren't, vultures are gathered together around a corpse, not eagles, unless they change their diet. See the depth of this? The rituals, ceremonies, taking the place of God's word. The building, the altar, the fancy robes, all of that has nothing to do with God. Eagles, don't put this bad boy in a cage. You cannot make him a pet. He is not domesticatable. And if he sees you coming and you catch him, it's going to be your bad day. But usually they don't go anywhere near where humans are. They don't take part in that crap. By the way, you ever heard of a wolf? Wolf? You ever seen a little? So somewhere back in time, a wolf decided to become domesticated. Now they turned them into little what? Little chihuahuas and shih tzus and all this other crap. They cannot survive on their own. Little pugs. They can't survive. You got to wipe their own. You got to wipe the butt for them because they can't even take care of themselves. You understand the problem? You have nothing comes between you and who? God. And how much time you spend in His Word, His thoughts, His doctrine, His reproof and correction will determine how much of an eagle and how quickly you mature. Does that make sense? Well, I haven't got time to eat the Word. I'm going to go out and watch out what you feed on. It's talking about eagles, yes, and that's what it is in the text. And all the trends, it has to be vultures. They're eagles that have become what? Now the problem with a vulture is a vulture can't fly very far. It can only fly about 20 feet because its wings are all oily. They're ucky. They're just really nasty. Now there are some exceptions, but the majority of them that eat the carrion, the maggot infested, those, they got some nasty, oily. So as a result, they got short distances they can fly. The eagle is not meant to be on the ground shorting little short distances. Nor is he designed to eat carrion. He's for the sky. You imagine yourself as an eagle, the whole world down below you, and you're just flying. That's you. You're not designed. It's not your destiny. It's not your purpose to eat rotting, decaying crap. Does that make sense? So is it eagles? Some translators, in fact, you get some versions that doesn't say eagles. It says vultures. But the text says eagles. And they say, well, it can't be because they're all gathered together. Yep. You ever go to a religious meeting where they're all gathered together? There's some big eagles there. Former eagles, bald heads. Am I making sense on this? No? Yes? Everybody's just staring at me? Okay. All right. So now, is it written anywhere else? Oh, yeah. It's in Luke. Are you all enjoying this? This is your characteristic. How many are there? There is the eagle, there is the lion, there is the ox or the bull, and there is the man, Azir of God. That's the four. This is one characteristic which is in you. So, Luke 17:32 through 37. Remember Lot's wife. How many remember Lot's wife? You are old, aren't you? Now, Jesus is saying, bring to remembrance. If you remember, that means you've been around here a long time. Remember Lot's wife. Bring into remembrance what you know of Lot's wife. What happened to Lot's wife? Was she committed to God? Yeah, she was supposed to be. She married who? Lot. She married Lot, and they were living in where? Sodom and Gomorrah, right? What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? You ever read what was wrong with Sodom and Gomorrah? Sodom and Gomorrah had some unique characteristics and lifestyles, yes. Today we call it alternate lifestyle, where everybody had a significant mother. No, a significant other, right? Pardon? That's where we get our word sodomy from. Anyway, they were extremely religious, just as we are today. No word. They left the word and become, and if you read the accounts, you go, oh my gosh. Malachi is a perfect example of it. Malachi goes into it. Jeremiah goes into it. You're like, and it says, you've become as Sodom and Gomorrah. And he states what they did wrong. So Lot's wife, when Lot, the messengers and Lot were taken out of the city, and she turned and saw the city get destroyed, she wanted to go back. And she was angry for that happening. If you take arsenic, what will it do to you? And if you're mad at me from taking the arsenic away and not letting you drink it, whose fault is it if you go back, sneak back and grab the arsenic and drink it? That state of mind, that thinking, those actions have a sentence on them. It's not that God says, if you do that, I'll kill you. No, it's just you're going to go that way. That's the end result. You drive a car off a cliff, there is a result. I've gone down 200 feet yet and still I'm okay. Well, you got another 1,500 and you won't feel okay. Eventually, it's going to get you. The rhythm is going to get you. All right, anyway. You can't go that way without what? Results. So people say to me, well, why don't you do this? I go, I'm not interested. Just, no, come on. No, don't go there. I just don't. I got my what? Boundaries. I have my what? Purpose. I have my focus. All right. Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall what? Lose it. I know a lot of people have lost it. If you want to save your life, you're going to lose it. And whoever shall lose his life shall what? Preserve it. What's that all about? Why does an eagle put up with being... Why do some eagles put up with being a domestic? Because they want to preserve their life. They don't want to die. How is it that a wolf became a Shih Tzu or a little pug? It's trying to save its what? Life. Why would that eagle leave and eat the carrion? It's trying to save its life. You understand? In trying to save your life, you're going to what? Lose it. You're going to compromise to save your life, and the results won't be your life. You won't be something to be proud of. You won't have any strength. You won't have any courage. You won't have any focus. What you are becoming should not be tampered with or contaminated. Is that making sense? So, what are we talking about? Whosoever shall lose his life shall what? It's not what I want. You've got to have a standard. Lucy, Give me 7 inches. Ah. Don't you want to tell me what you think? Oh, she's got it. Yeah. 7 inches. Let's see. Close your eyes and we'll test it out. No, but that's not 7 inches. That's 4 inches. Now what happens? She retained her what? Self. She continued to hold it. Right? Because it's what I think. It's what I believe. It's what I know. Well, great. You save your life, you're going to what? Well, how do you know you're wrong? You need doctrine, reproof, and what? And the greatest men on earth have all used one standard. Oh, the English. No, I'm talking about the Bible. Is that making sense? Ready to try again?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Wrong again. Okay, now here's the rule, and now you try it. Oh, she didn't. What'd you do? She didn't try and save her life. What her feelings are, what she thought, what she believed. She wanted to check the ruler. She let go of herself. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to your own freaking understanding. I added the word freaking. Not in there. Trust in the Lord and lean not to thy own what? You want to try it again?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, you want to use the ruler this time. Let's give her an applause. Yeah. Bravo. All right, so we understand that. Lose his life and preserve it, right? It's not what you think. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to your own freaking what? I added the word freaking. It's not in there. Yeah. Thine own understanding. In all thy ways what? Acknowledge him. And he will direct thy what? Paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from what? Evil. So yeah, we are. Have you ever seen a little 3-year-old? How many can leave 3-year-olds to themselves? Now you tell a 3-year-old what to do, and then you leave for 4 hours. What do you think is going to come back? Will there be anything?
4 hours?
I know, that's insane, isn't it? I remember a parent left their 6-year-old, their 5-year-old, and their 4-year-old alone for 3 hours. And they found the laundry detergent and started throwing it around the house so it would look like snow. Parents came home and there was laundry detergent everywhere. See, Mommy, it's just like snow. They didn't see it as being wrong. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to thy own what? Understanding. But little kids don't understand. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Got it? Uh-huh, I got it. Sure you do. I know. Whosoever shall seek to save his life, preserve his own perceptional, his own personal thinking, or whatever, shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life, giving up what he thinks his priorities, shall what? Preserve his life. I tell you that in that night there shall be 2 in one bed. Doesn't say man or woman. It just says 2 in one bed. That's italicized. Italics are what? Added, right? I don't know where these guys were did the translation, but one shall be what? Taken. Like Lot's wife. What does that mean? What happened to Lot's wife? She became D-E-A what? D-E-A-D. Not D-E-A dead. That's DOA, dead on arrival. Anyway, whatever. All right. I tell you that that night there shall be 2 in one bed. One shall be taken dead, and the other shall be what? Left. Got it? 2, Doesn't say woman. Two shall be grinding together. One shall be what? Taken, and the other what? Left. What's the criteria to be taken? What's the criteria to not be taken? Got it? And they answered and said unto him, Where, Lord? And he said unto them, Wheresoever the corpse is, there will be the what?
Eagle.
Plural. We're not talking eagles because they only go in singles. This is the rituals. They may have started out with the word, but they didn't stick with it. They let their own private interpretation and went on to what they think and what they felt, and they get what's the termination? What's the actual end product? Death. Everybody got that? Well, I can get more prestige, and I can get more money, and I can get more honor, and I can wear funny clothes like everybody else. Just like the eagle sitting in this little area there looking at the vultures. It's not eagles. It's eagles that became like what? Vultures by what they fed on. All right. Now I'm going to cover a really difficult verse, and you should be able to understand it now that I've taught you this. 2 Corinthians 6, 14 through 18. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Do you believe in Santa Claus? Yeah, I believe in Santa Claus. Do you believe in the Easter Bunny? Yeah, I believe in Easter Bunny. Do you believe? No, that's not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about believing. What is that word? That word there, apistios. It's growth and development. First time a woman gets married, it's you live happily ever after. No, you don't. You go through hell. And the married people went around going, you should get married. Because they want everybody else to go through what they went through. It's only right. Like the time my brother decided we watched the movie A Guy Getting Whipped, so we had this whip. And my brother goes, hey, I'll tell you what. Why don't you take off your shirt and I'll whip you and then you whip me and see what it's like. I go, okay. And he whipped back that whip and he went, pow! I had never felt that much pain in my entire life. And I hear my brother going, how do you feel? I go, didn't hurt a bit. My turn. Anyone here have brothers and sisters that you messed with?
Not like that.
She smiles and she's not, so I don't know about that. All right. I'm the oldest of 9 kids, so I had interesting time. My brother was a little stinker. So you grow, you develop, you get more knowledge, more understanding. You make tons of mistakes because you can't learn until you make what? Mistakes. No matter how much someone teaches you, until you do it, it won't make sense. And then as you do it, you go, now I understand. Being unequally yoked together with those who are applying the word, growing and developing is what this is talking about. Not you don't want to be around people like, there's no God. There's not. That isn't even what we're talking about. Those who won't what? Grow and develop. Stay away from them. Because what are they going to do? They're going to inhibit you from growing. Well, why are you going? What are you doing? I'm learning God's word. Oh, really? Come on. The word yoked is like, you ever seen remember I taught you on staros in the class? How many took this class? And I showed what a staros is. If you have 2 oxen, what do you put over the top of them and tie it to them? a tree, right? So a yoke goes over the top of two heads of oxen, and you tie it together, and then they walk together. Now the word says you don't tie up a younger one with an older one, right? You don't, because they can't walk together, and you're going to trip up the experienced one. You train them so that they're equal together, and you teach them both to walk together, and they help each other walk. Who are you yoked together with? Jesus, that's right. So if someone else is yoked together with Jesus, then you're both yoked. You'll help each other walk with Jesus better. You're not supposed to be yoked to them. That's stupid, because you're my soul and my heart's inspiration. That's not cool. Your heart, your soul, inspiration should be who? God. Don't make another person God. Not a good idea. Are you worthy to be God? No. Who here is good enough to be God? Nobody. Then why do we want people to be their God? So, be not unequally yoked together, and that's yoked because you're yoked with Christ, and if another person's yoked with Christ, both of you are trying to fit in that standard, and you can help each other do that. And that's the growth and development, apistis. If they're not even trying, don't even yoke with them. Don't put them to the yoke. For what fellowship hath righteousness with what? Unrighteousness. They're not even trying. And what communion, that means unity, hath light with darkness? And the answer is what? None. And what concord, and that's peacefulness, working together. Like, you ever seen ducks fly? They all fly together, right? That's concord. What concord has Christ with Belial? Ooh, the answer is what? Nada. Or what part hath that believeth with a what? Infidel, that which is growing and developing with one who doesn't even know what you're talking about. Well, if they got good looks and they got money, I'm in. No, it's a bad way to judge people. Got it? What are the attributes that you find attractive in someone that you're looking for? Is it money? Good looks? Good looks come and they what? Go. Whatever's on the inside comes out on the what? Outside. You don't believe me? Eat a lemon and watch the facial expression. So whatever's on the inside comes out on the outside. Is this making sense? You walk around like this and face freezes that way. What part of a person growing and developing was someone who doesn't even know what they're talking about? And what agreement hath the temple of God? Where's the temple of God? I want to go there. Where's the temple of God? There is no place to go where there's God. You either have him in you or what? You don't. What agreement hath the temple of God? Where's the temple of God? We are the temple of God. Because we're all what? Pistios. We're doing it. We're acting on it. We're bringing it to pass. We're seeing it manifest in our lives going, wow. And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? None. For reason ye what? Are the temple of the living God. No. Yes. As God hath said, is quoting other scripture, I will what? Dwell in them. You want to kick God out? Don't have his priorities, his thoughts, his orientation, his perception. Kick him out. Think like everybody else. Want him to dwell fully in you? Adapt. his thoughts, his images, his priorities, his focus, his perception, and watch the whole world change that fast. For, that was enthusiastic. Let's try it again. For reason. Ye what? Are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my what? People. You can't be God's people unless God is in you. That's all God ever wanted. To have someone have his thoughts, his priorities, his focus, and have his purposes. That's all he wanted. And the only one who never did that was Christ. In all four categories. Wherefore, come out from among them. Them who? These guys. Right? They have no intention. All they want to do is get you what? Out of the word. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye what? Now, you know what's funny? Separate means sanctified. You ever wonder why gold? The Bible has two golds in it. One's sanctified and one's just gold. What's the difference? One is in the temple in the presence of God. And the other one is what everybody else has. One has the purposes of God, the other one doesn't. Isn't that interesting? So are you purposed for God? Is your destiny the destiny God has given you? To be that eagle? To have the strength and the courage, the focus, to set those boundaries? To be able to overcome every obstacle? Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye what? That doesn't mean like, I'm going to live in my own little world. I'm going to sit back and no one's going to see me. No, that's not what we're talking about. That eagle, he's not afraid for anybody to see him. I'm here! Wow. Look at him. Wow. I don't care where that eagle flies, everybody looks what? Wow. Eagle shows up, everybody's watching. You should show up, and everybody goes, wow. And can't take their eyes off you. If anything's happening, they look to you, no matter what it is. Why? Because you have God in you, which gives you those characteristics. Interesting, huh? You know, it's funny when you hold fast to God's word and the bullshit that everybody tries to hand you, you're like, not interested. Nope. Sorry. Not interested. Thank you. No. 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 Not interested. No. 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 You just do that. You have to go, well, I like that, and I'm thinking about having, okay, maybe just once. What? That's not strength. That's weakness. That's weakness. He don't pull that stuff for nobody. He is rock solid. And so is the lion. So is the eagle. Notice the men and women of God are called lions and what? Eagles. There's a reason for it. Wherefore, come out from among them and be what? Don't think their thoughts. Don't have their priorities. Don't see from their perspective. I'm making myself clear. You separate yourself from their mentality and make yourself what? Then you'll wind up a Newton and nobody loved, or you'll wind up as a Max Planck and nobody will care about you, or you'll wind up as an Einstein. So, you're not supposed to be normal anyway. Einstein was, boy, when it comes to God, bang! That was it. He's Jew. He didn't put up with any religious crap. Max Planck, same way. Bang! Newton, oh, they begged him, please don't open your mouth concerning God, please. Most brilliant man on earth. He read the Bible in all 3 languages. He knew what it said, and he got out there to tell people, and they're like, don't do that again. So you ever read Newton's work? Planck's? Planck is awesome. The founder of quantum mechanics. How do you know about quantum mechanics? Because the Bible showed it and spoke of it. How did Einstein know about the fabric of space-time? Because the Bible speaks of it as a fabric. So what great discoveries will you have? You understand your potential. I may be in a room here with the next Max Planck, or the next Newton, or the next Einstein. I have no idea. But I know one thing, that you'll become the standard for everyone who knows you. You walk in that room like that eagle shows up in the sky, and everybody pays attention. That sound like, can you feel it on the inside? Can you feel it? That's part of your reality. Wherefore, come out from among them. That doesn't mean, I'm not going to talk to you no more. That's not it. You don't budge. They have to change. And if they don't change, you still stand. You don't harass people, smack them upside the head with a Bible. Come on. Not other organizations. But you understand, you stand as the living word of what? God. So people can see it. They've never seen it. All they've seen is the bald heads. Wherefore, come out from among them. Don't be like them. Get away from the vultures. Get your ass back in the little cubby hole. Wait till all your feathers grow out. Is that making sense? Saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing. What does that mean? Oh, don't touch. The unclean thing, don't touch the unclean thing. That which God says, well, it doesn't say I can't do that. I know I shouldn't, but this is an exception to the rule. Wait a minute. What are we talking about? The unclean thing is that which is not of what? God. Doesn't support, isn't part of God's priorities, isn't God's orientation. So, what do? Well, what does it mean to touch? What do you do before you buy something? When someone goes to sell you something, what do? You touch it. Right? I want to touch it. I want to see it. Why? Because you're considering doing it, having it, making it a part of you. Yes or no? There's 2 words it means to try and consider. One is taste, and the other one is what? Touch. That's why taste not, touch not. And because once you do, like the eagle in his little, thorn hut, looking at that carrion, well, it won't hurt if I just a little taste of it. Just a little taste. So he comes out and he takes a taste of it. Well, it wasn't hurt if I just look at it. If I just touch it. If I just taste it. Well, 1 won't matter. Then, 2 won't matter. And you see, it just takes you 1 step at a time. Next thing you know is, how did I get here? Wherefore, come out among them means in mind and heart and soul. And be ye what? Separate in heart and mind and soul. God don't care about the body. He cares about your heart, soul, and mind. Saith the Lord. And touch not. Don't consider doing those things. And I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my what? Sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. Isn't that cool? The Almighty is El Shaddai. He who overshadows. Remember I taught you about the shadow of God? Well, can I just say some Our Fathers and Hail Marys and that's good enough? No, it doesn't work. What if I have the rosary and do the rosary prayers? Where's that in the Bible? Does that make sense? Religion has nothing to do with God. So what's my goal? To get as much Word of God in you as I possibly can. To have you actually get a chance to see it. Not pretend, not act. Christ is not going to come down and say, okay, you're coming with me. And for you, you get some Oscars. How's that? Good enough? Good. And leave. There won't be any Oscars whatsoever. Isn't this cool? Does anybody ever read this? No, they don't read that. They go, that's weird. I'm not going to even read that. I'm going to read something else. Seriously, they don't touch this. They don't touch the eagles. Nobody does. I don't care whose church you go to, whose little box. God's not in the box, for one. And number two, they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't study the culture. They don't study the customs. And they think they know it. And they're looking at it from our culture and not that culture. Does that make sense? Who's this? Repeat after me. Me. Who's this? Me. That's you. See from above. See from above. Aquila, right? His name means from the sun. He always hangs up so you can't see him because of the sun. But his shadow is cast down. And people will be in your shadow. Where you are, they will follow you. They'll seek your guidance. They'll seek your opinion. They'll want to know what you think and what makes you so strong. How come you don't have fear? Why aren't you afraid? Because you're not going by the standard of the world. You don't eat that carrion. Does that make sense? That's the characteristic of God in you. How many do you got? 5. That's 1. Aren't you excited about learning about the others? Cool. Father, I thank you for the greatness of your word, and I thank you as we begin to learn what our destiny, the character that we have, that you've given us, that we can continue to learn, to grow, and to rise up and become, to truly walk in your shadow and reflect you in all the world. I thank you for each person's life here, and help me be my best for them, to help me to guide them, to strengthen them, to build them, and to help them truly see you dwelling within them, that they can truly glorify you, walking in this day and time as your firstborn from the dead, our risen and returned Lord Jesus, your anointed. Isn't he cool? That's the eagle. That's about you. Ready for the question? You are God's what?
Best.